Have you ever wondered what the deepest canyon on Earth is? Well, like most things in geography, the answer is actually pretty controversial, although most people agree that it is the Kali Gandaki Gorge located in Nepal. The Kali Gandaki Gorge is named for the Kali Gandaki, or the Gandaki River, which begins on the Nepal-Tibet border to the north and drains in the Ganges River to the south. While the river runs 506 miles in total, the Kali Gandaki Gorge refers only to the portion of the river that passes between Dhaulagiri and Annapurna, the 7th and 10th highest mountains in the world, respectively. It is this portion of the river that is considered to be the deepest canyon in the world, and at its deepest point, the Kali Gandaki Gorge measures an impressive 18,278 feet, making it more than 3 times deeper than the Grand Canyon. But somewhat surprisingly, especially considering this insanely impressive depth, the Kali Gandaki Gorge still isn't universally accepted as the deepest canyon in the world. See, the issue is that there doesn't appear to be a worldwide standard for measuring how deep a canyon is. For canyons with distinct rims, such as the Grand Canyon, you can simply measure from the edge of the rim down to the river at the bottom. But for canyons without a distinct rim, including the Kali Gandaki, the most common way for measuring depth appears to be taking the elevation of the summit of the highest mountain bordering the river minus the elevation of the river itself. So, for the case of the Kali Gandaki, the roughly 18,000-foot depth that I mentioned earlier was calculated as the difference between the summit of Annapurna 1, shown here, and the elevation of the Kali Gandaki River. But even though that depth is widely reported, many sources don't seem to agree with it. For example, some sources use the summit of Dhaulagiri, shown here, and not Annapurna as the maximum elevation, which would give the Kali Gandaki Gorge an even greater depth, while other sources still claim that the exact depth of the Kali Gandaki Gorge is undetermined. So clearly, there is still a lot of disagreement regarding the exact depth of the Kali Gandaki Gorge, and this leaves the door open for other canyons to stake their claim as the deepest in the world. The most common challenger appears to be the Yarlung Zangbo Grand Canyon in Tibet. Some estimates place the maximum depth of this canyon at 19,714 feet, making it deeper than the Kali Gandaki Gorge, although it's currently unclear to me how this depth was actually calculated. But regardless of the exact depth of the Kali Gandaki Gorge, it is undoubtedly one of the most impressive and beautiful places I have ever seen. It's really awesome and honestly hard to explain just how rapidly the Kali Gandaki transitions from this gentle, wide, braided river like we see here to this really narrow, steep